Man, I know it's hard. I know you're tired. I know that deep inside, you're screaming. But on the outside, you just smile and say everything's fine. I know that when you lay your head on that pillow at night, the thoughts start to weigh heavy, and you ask yourself, why is God allowing this? Maybe it's a door that won't open, a pain that won't go away, a battle that seems endless. Maybe you're facing betrayal, maybe loneliness, maybe fear. You look at your life, and you can't see a way out. You feel like you're running in circles, like the more you try, the more things fall apart. And you know what's worse? It looks like everyone else is prospering. It seems like doors are opening for everybody, except you. And so you ask yourself, God, did you forget about me? I've been there. I've had sleepless nights. I've cried until there were no more tears left. I felt forgotten. I felt small. But listen, if there's one thing I've learned, it's this. God never loses control. If he allowed this battle, there's a reason. If he let you go through this, it's because he's preparing something greater. You're not in this desert by accident. You're not facing this storm for no reason. Romans 8:28 says, we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. Did you catch that? All things. Not just the good, not just the easy. Your pain, he's using it. Your tears, he's counting them. Your disappointments, he's working through them. God is writing a story that only he can write. But I know what you're thinking. But when? I've been waiting for so long. And here's what I need you to hear. Your big moment is coming. Do you really think God brought you this far just to leave you halfway? Do you think he started something in your life just to abandon it? Never. Look at Joseph. The guy had a huge dream. But what happened? He was betrayed. He was thrown into a pit. He was sold as a slave. He was locked in prison. And I can only imagine how many times he must have asked himself, God, where is your promise? But listen, when the time was right, God changed everything. Joseph went from prison to the palace, from rejected to ruler. The same people who mocked him had to come to him for help. And if God did it for Joseph, why wouldn't he do it for you? Maybe, just maybe, God hasn't taken you out of this battle yet, because he's preparing you for what's next. The struggle, it's shaping you. The pain, it's strengthening you. The waiting, it's building your faith. He is making you ready. Have you ever seen a diamond? Before it shines, it goes through pressure. Before gold shines, it has to be refined in fire. And maybe, just maybe, that's what God is doing with you right now. Look at Job. The man lost everything. His family, gone. His health, gone. His wealth, gone. But do you know what happened in the end? Job 42:10 says, and the Lord restored Job's fortunes and gave him twice as much as before. Double for his trouble. If God restored Job, he can restore you. If God lifted Joseph up, he can lift you up. If God opened the Red Sea, he can make a way for you. But here's the key. You can't give up now. The enemy, he wants you to be tired. He wants you to lose faith. He wants you to think that God has forgotten you. But God never forgets his children. Isaiah 41:10 says, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Did you hear that? He will uphold you. So let me ask you, if God is holding you, who can bring you down? If God is in control, who can stop you? Now, I know, there are moments when we just want answers. There are days when we look up and say, God, speak to me. And maybe, just maybe, this is the answer you needed to hear today. Do not give up. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. That door that seemed closed, God already has the key. That dream that seemed dead, God is bringing it back to life. That situation that seemed impossible, God is already moving the pieces. Just because you don't see it, doesn't mean God isn't working. Sometimes the waiting isn't a punishment, it's preparation. Because when God moves, he's going to do it in a way that no one can deny that it was him. Have you ever seen someone build a great house without first digging a deep foundation? The bigger the promise, the deeper God digs. The more he prepares, the more he shapes, the more he strengthens you. And if it's hurting right now, if the battle feels too big, it's because the blessing God is building for you is even bigger. And when you look back, you will say, now I understand. So hold on, take a deep breath, wipe away those tears, because God is moving heaven for you. And when he acts, nothing can stop him. If you believe it, say, Amen. Your miracle is already on the way.